Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and talk about gaming related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm Luminary and I'm accompanied today by the co hosts, the Nordic Cajun,
I'm back, baby.
the Eternal Barcode, Imee,
Who's not on mute. Hello, everyone.
Yay!
and from the Emerald Dream, Reina the Crit Chicken.
I'm going to pump you up.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a bad. That was a
Yeah.
bad.
That was a good
reference.
SNL reference,
I can
though.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Or I guess Looney or no Tiny Toons, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they took it from SNL.
Yeah, I know. Like you said, Tiny Toons, and that song goes through my head. Thank you, Steven Spielberg. Episode 44, Gate to the Stars. But before we get to that, Imee has an important message.
I do. So, with every bit donation, subscription, ad watch, and all that stuff, obviously we get revenue from that. 10% of all of that revenue is going to go to the Trevor Project. And the mission of the Trevor Project is to end suicide among gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, and questioning young people. And just a quick reminder, this is an opinion show and does not reflect official company policies or views. In other words, we're poor, we have uninformed opinions, and please don't sue us.
Please, no litigation.
Yes.
So, Gate to the Stars. This week's news has been horrifically Starfield. And, well, it's interesting. I started looking at, because I play Starfield. I got the premium edition so I could play early because, oh my God, Bethesda fanboy, wee, right?
They seem like they did a great job with that case. Like $300 for that case? Jesus.
Yeah, more on that later. Oh, I didn't get the case. I got just the premium edition. I would love the case. That smartwatch is dope. Like
That's $300, but it's so cool looking.
Yeah, it depends on how much immersion you want. Like, I guess if you want your crew members texting you on your watch while you play the game, I mean,
Yes.
That's pretty sick.
I mean, I would wear it just to play the game, honestly. Like,
Kind of like the Pokemon Go thing, where it's like you just kind of like whip around your ball, and you're like, "Hey, go."
that,
Yes.
it's gonna whip my ball around. Don't
Yeah.
Whip
mind
my
me.
ball back and forth. I whip my ball back and forth.
little bit of commentary on the news feed that's been coming through because Starfield was such a huge release. They're doing stuff like how to activate your grav jump. Bruh, it's like explained like within the first 30 minutes of the game. I don't like it seems like games journalism has focused on just shitting out articles just to shit out articles, and it's kind of pissing me off. I know a while back Imee was telling me that we should probably filter our bot to get rid of anything with how to, and
Yes.
I think that's going to be a thing. The problem is I don't want to miss out on it. I thought about opening up a separate forum for all the how-to garbage, so that way it filters out into a separate dumping ground.
And have that have like a 2-minute retention.
Well, it's in days. I could probably do like 2 days, maybe
No,
one,
less than that.
less than that.
Like just none. So the words, what I've noticed with the headlines when it comes to actual gaming news, not a single one of them has ever had the word guide, and like less than 0.5% have ever had the words how to. They didn't involve like a walkthrough of some sort.
Yeah, and
Walkthrough is another term we can filter out.
well, with the current like influx of stuff, like I could totally do that. But it's also almost halfway entertaining seeing some of the stuff like how to jump effectively in, or and it's just like it's the Y button or it's the A button or it's whatever. Like it's all basic stuff. It's like they loaded it into an AI. It's like tell people how to jump in Starfield. It's like okay, boss, here's this, and they're like sold. Send it to press. So
I mean, you're probably not wrong in that assessment.
yeah. But it seems like every new game release, and I've noticed this over the last year since I built this damn thing, that tends to be the trend. It's like how to basic, except without all the eggs and angry.
I
Yeah.
introduced How to Basic to the Misses and Little Man the other day. We sat there for a good hour just dumbfounded at the things this guy does. I've never seen my wife stare at the TV with the most disgusted, shocked look on her face since the prison scene in Outlander.
He's doing
So,
shorts now, so just
oh
imagine.
no, short form How to Basic. Lord help us all.
Yeah. YouTube.com at howtobasic. That's probably the best tutorial site you'll ever see because it makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I understand the Crit and the Code were both playing Baldur's Gate 3, and they have been hinting in a lot of stuff across all the Discord servers that I'm a member of some of the adventures that they're actually having. And
I
I want to open this up to Crit and Imi to tell us about their adventures.
Let us live vicariously through your adventures,
I'm
please.
living vicariously through the barcode. I'm still playing in my reality world of World of Warcraft, but I've been kind of like helping or giving the barcode some suggestions on how to properly talk to the folks of Baldur's Gate.
Yes. I was initially going to do an evil run because I like to play evil,
No,
but yeah, I know, really
not
shocking.
you, dude.
No, of course not. But then Raina, of course, decided that maybe evil is horrible, and she's been guiding me. And it's funny. There's been a couple times, or well, not a couple times, many times, where she's been like, "Hey, you should probably answer this, or you should probably go talk to that person." And in my head, I'm not even thinking about talking to them. I go talk to them, and like something super awesome happens. So she's been a great asset for keeping me mostly on track, and keeping focus on the cool stuff. I just before the show here, I just decided to go explore part of the map and came up to a cliff and automatically got into combat, and I was like, what?" That was fun. The game overall, holy shit. I mean, aside from the stupid pathing of your own teammates, I mean, do you guys remember StarCraft 1 with the
Oh, yeah.
Goliath?
Mhm.
And
I
how
never played the
cra-
game, so you're
Okay.
gonna...
So if you look up Goliath, StarCraft 1 Goliath pathing, it's just broken. It is so broken. These characters have the worst fucking pathing in some instances. Uh, if there's acid on the ground, instead of pathing around the acid, they just go right through it. Or they will stand there, in the acid waiting until your player character gets far enough ahead that then they're like, "Oh, maybe we should follow after you." Meanwhile, they're standing there taking damage.
Their feet are just nubs at this
They're
point.
just idiots. If I had to complain about the game, it's the pathing is garbage. I've seen better pathing in StarCraft
You know what?
and Warcraft 1.
My chief complaint is I really wish I had a slider scale on how big I can make my D.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had that in
Conan.
Cyberpunk.
And Conan, you can make it monster sized. That's right. I was gonna fire it up for you so I could show you just the player character making.
No.
Yeah, you can make those things like
Ew.
you can make an elephant embarrassed.
I didn't
And
mark
I-
this stream as mature, so
I mean, hey,
it's like,
you can
hey,
make your
audience.
trunk longer than an elephant in Conan. Okay. I mean, elephants have trunks. They're kind of long.
My ding, ding,
Humans
dong.
have trunks. They're kind of smaller in comparison, but you can make it fairly long in that game.
human horn grinded into a fine powder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, if I'm gonna be a hero character, especially if I play a male, I want to at least make sure I feel like I'm well equipped to be a hero character. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Oh, sure.
It's overall though, I mean, outside of the garbage pathing, I love the game. It is a lot of fun. It is frustrating as hell sometimes. I tried one fight about what was that today? I thought what 3, 4, 5 times, and each time I was about to get a TPK, and I was like, or total party kill if you don't play D&D. That's what TPK stands for. Basically,
Yeah.
everyone wipes. And I was just like, no, I'm gonna relive this. And it took me, I think it was 4 or 5 tries before I finally got that one. It was a good fight, a tough fight, but I really enjoyed it. So, the play is fun. The UI I love. It's a fairly intuitive UI for the most part.
Oh, it
It's a
looks
lot
very
of-
familiar. It looks a lot like WoW. At least from what I've seen, it's push button
kinda
like WoW.
WoW or Diablo. It's very helpful for the most part. It's very clean. I like the look of it. No FOV slider, so you lose like minus a bajillion points. Total Biscuit will be rolling in his grave. No
Mhm.
FOV. Gotta have one. There
Yeah, I
are
mean-
some tracking issues with the camera.
I mean-
But
How many bugs did they fix in this most recent patch?
Oh yeah, the latest patches of what August 23rd, over 1,000 glitches and bugs were patched.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Hashtag it
so
just works.
you might sit there and be like, oh my god, that sounds atrocious. Why would you have that many? This thing is a giant ass release. It is over 100 gigs in size. One of the first things they had to do was increase or get rid of the actual like save file limit, because apparently there was a limit to the size of your save file. But they realized that people were just going and exploring, and of course that was chewing up save file space. So eventually they just got rid of the cap. So now it's you know as big as you have hard drive space. And
Coming up on the
it's
next UDP broadcast, how to stripe discs.
absolutely. Actually, see, I don't even use stripe discs. I kind of do, but I also use a mock L2 cache system, which is fantastic. But anyways, that's getting into turbo nerd stuff. I use Primo
Oh,
Cache.
I have got a turbo nerd story for you after the podcast.
I'm using Primo Cache to do L2 caching on a whole 1 terabyte drive by itself. It's amazing. But anyways, back to the story of the game. I'm loving it. The storyline is fun. There are times when I don't feel like I have very much in the way of direction in what I should be doing next. The one drawback I do have is that your map is only centered on the map you're physically on. So if I'm in, say, a dungeon area and I want to go look at the main land map, I can't. And you would think you're holding a map. Why can't you just like flip the page? I mean, that's just a minor gripe, but overall, it's so much fun. I'm really enjoying it. I can't thank Crit enough, because she was the one who bought it for me. I was going to wait for it to go on sale, and I just saw it in my my Steam inbox saying, "You have a gift." I was like, "Oh,
I was like,
it's so much fun."
You see,
love your courteous of chickens.
yeah, I've been considering getting that game for a while, especially since the Spiffing Brit had put in his walkthrough on how to break the game with barrels. I think it was like telekinesis.
Oh, I hadn't done that. I was just planting barrels and then shooting them and then one-shotting bosses.
Well, that's the way to do it. And that's the beautiful part about those type of games, is finding solutions that aren't exactly just putting the pointy end of your stick to the boss.
Well, sometimes you have people that try and get away and warn others, and you're like, no. If I just one-shot everything, then everything's dead.
Yeah.
It's just toast. And it works out very well.
Very nice. Well, I know that in one of the servers you were talking about lewd adventures. What was going on with
Yes.
that?
So the current character. So this game has actually some really fun integrations. You can actually have Twitch integration where Twitch players or viewers can actually vote on your dialogue options, so they steer the conversations.
Oh, that's
Which
nice.
is horrifying.
Oh no.
But there is a lewd mode where you can have lewd lewd interactions with the players, where you might be talking and you'll have lewdness. There's lewd scenes, and then there's a third mode that allows you to share that lewdness with your friends. So my current character, I saw somewhere on I think it was Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Fuck that guy.
Nope.
I saw somewhere on Twitter.
Twixter. There we go.
Twixter. No, I saw somewhere on there that somebody was calling Baldur's Gate 3 like the most buy games ever to go buy. I'm like, yes. So my character, his goal is to nail everybody.
Very nice.
But
That's what all warriors strive for, my boy.
absolutely,
You will get stabbed one way or another.
absolutely, the penetration shall happen.
Mm.
Except when you're going down to go see the Titanic, and then you need a ball. It's never gonna die. I'm never gonna get tired of that shit. I'm never gonna get tired of that. Fuck those guys.
That ship has sailed and that sub has sunk.
There's only one person I feel sorry for, and that was the kid. Oh man. Anyways, it's been a lot of fun, and Rain has been my co-pilot the entire time. She's been enjoying it as well, helping me out with dialogue options or whatnot. And on the next playthrough, I'm going to completely, and it's in the title of the game, so it's not a spoiler. I'm going to completely embrace the whole concept of the urge, and you'll have to play the game to find out what that means. But I'm gonna
Yes.
go a total dark, horrible run, see how many of my normal band of misfits and fuckos I can kill right in the beginning, because I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun to do a fully evil mode.
I know it's probably like for the alignment chart, but the fact that you were talking about lewd and all of a sudden talking about the urge, it just brings into a whole different perspective of what it could be. Or either that or I'm a
Lewd
dirty old man.
urges shall intensify.
Yes.
Too bad you
So,
can't just like have total horny mode where you just like oh hey hag,
Is
let's
that
bang.
is that
you're in
really
a
a mode? So that's literally a mode. Like you got, okay, how would you like to play the game? Easy, normal, hard, and I hate myself. And by the way, how
What
aroused would you like to be?
what
So
kind of
Feels like that
in
sometimes.
you just
what
slide the
kind of
slider.
hard?
You just slide the slider all the way to yes.
yeah, hard has a sub menu.
Hard as in hard, it's hard. And then the
Yeah.
first option is difficult. Second option, yes.
Yes.
No, the first option would be flaccid.
Ooh, sad boys. Now,
Oh man.
now,
Limp
now,
noodle.
I guess my only question for you now, Amy, is I know you're
Oh my
you're
god, there's
co-
mods already.
Oh
oh,
no.
you knew there were mods coming. Oh,
Oh
dude, the
fuck.
mods are gonna be insane
No.
for this game.
New
But
character creation preset. Oh no.
my
No.
my main question is with the loot escapades, who is your favorite characters to woo, as it were?
I'm trying to nail everybody in my camp.
I'd say Bitey Boy.
Excuse me, do you have a hole? May I occupy it? I think
Yes.
And one of them
That's
has a bunch of puncture wounds, but that's
I'm those are extra holes. We can go there.
oh.
Absolutely stuff those.
I
Oh
have
my god,
sadly.
my wife sent me a picture of the evacuated eye socket fleshlight, so that's what just came to mind when you said
Oh,
Wait, what was this eye socket
what?
flashlight? I am intrigued.
that. Evacuated eye socket fleshlight.
So
Where would
can
you buy one
literally
of those?
their skull.
Wherever major fleshlight retailers sell
mean,
them, I
don't
don't
do it.
know.
Don't do it. I'm gonna.
I will
disown you.
gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you.
No. I'm going
That's
to. I'm gonna disown you.
that is a fantastic movie reference. If you know, you know.
No.
Indeed.
I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna
We're
disown you.
gonna watch that movie.
No.
It is yeah, it was done when was that made? 1970 something?
What
I
was
don't
it?
know, but I'm scared.
Sure, IMDb knows. What was the name of it?
That's Apocalypse Now. Yeah, that's Apocalypse Now. Stanley Kubrick made it. So it's
1979.
gonna be yeah. So it's gonna be all kinds of absolutely fucked up. Oh no, sorry, it's not Apocalypse Now. It is part of Full Metal Jacket.
Oh,
and such
God.
wonderful things of oh wait, that's not gonna play. Damn it. Never mind.
1987 for Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Old school.
And yeah, Full Metal Jacket was absolutely amazing.
Next to Major Pain, Apocalypse Now I think is one of my
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Yes.
No.
Crit, you've been playing a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 when you've had time to breathe and sleep. Tell us about your adventures.
I'm not playing it. I'm playing through Amy.
Oh, vicariously. You just mentioned that.
Yeah.
I had the dumbs. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Eventually, I'll do it. It's just like I've just been trying to get a mage up in classic WoW, and I mean, I kind of took a backseat with the hardcore stuff because that community is starting to piss me off. But
Yeah, why don't you expound on that? Tell us about your
Oh,
WoW
yes.
adventures. Let's hear about what you've done. Like, you have a lot of great stories coming through on Twitter, but
I made a bunch of nerds angry.
She
let's
did,
go
and it
with
was
that.
amazing.
Well, I was like, well, he's not number one. Well, are you always this annoying when it says, no, it's not number one. It's the official server. I'm like, you're discounting Season of Mastery.
Context needed. This was the first to level 60 in hardcore.
In the official quote unquote server for hardcore. But,
Yes.
hardcore's been going on for many, many years. And I was like, trying to say, hey, don't discredit the people that were the first people, to get the idea to get to level. And they're like, well, what about the appeals? I'm like, Soul of Iron buff and Season of Mastery. You can't appeal that. If you die, you die. You know? So, whatever. Stay mad. I don't care. I blocked a
Good
few
stuff.
people because of it. And I'm just like, you know
Yeah,
what?
I'd live for the random drama that you have when it comes to these nerds on World of Warcraft and stuff. When I see you start a thread, I'm like, uh-oh, it's about to get good.
Nah, I mean, what am I supposed to be mad at? And they're like calling me like names, telling me to go outside. I'm like, dude, tell that to the person that spent freaking 70 hours leveling to 60. I don't want to hear it.
Kids these days, they don't understand.
I'm not even kids, probably a man-child. Yeah.
Well, the worst part is, people are quick to jump and then don't ask for clarification as to, what anyone's talking about. And it's not that she was like shitting on the guy for hitting level 60 in the official server. It was more a comment on how everybody but seemed to have forgotten that this dedicated community of players in WoW were the first ones who started that whole movement of like, they had an add-on that would tell you who died at what level, and everybody, when you start your character, you would go get a buff that disappears when you die, and you can never get that buff again. So you would know if someone's playing a tune that had died once. You could appeal your death.
But you
If
could
you
not.
got DC'd, what?
But because of the Soul of Iron buff that
Yeah,
was
that's the one.
implemented by WoW, that was an official thing put in the game by WoW for Season of Mastery, which is now in place with Hardcore server. You can still get the Soul of Iron buff in, I think, Undercity and in Ironforge in the Hardcore servers now. I was like, you can't appeal that if you die. You can't bring. And the thing is, too, I'm like, if it wasn't official for that, then why do you have people transferring their hardcore characters to get the immortal title, in Wrath of the Lich King regular server? And they're like, oh, you shouldn't talk about private servers. I'm like, Season of Mastery wasn't a private server.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
People
It's
got
weird.
really salty for no good reason, really.
Only one person did it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. That person, they took the time to have a reasonable conversation with you. And I read that and it was like, oh, that's actually good to see. Like, it's really weird how people were just like, nah, I'm going to jump all over this.
I actually had to block a friend because of it, because out of a couple of years, the only thing that they could actually do was say, I love you, but I'm like, no, you're not going to give me a backhanded comment like that. No, you can continue staying out of my life.
I love you. Is that like the equivalent of like, bless your heart?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
well,
That's how I felt.
it's one of those things where like everything before the word but is a lie, and then everything after it is what they meant to say.
Correct. This
You're
I don't
like,
mean to be. I don't mean to offend you, but get ready. I'm about to offend you.
yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well, shut the fuck up. If you don't mean to offend me, shut your mouth.
I
lot of
understand what you're
people-
saying, but like, yeah, no, I totally get it.
A lot of people joined my block list.
Yeah.
I mean, between the whole, like, I got like 10,000 impressions. I had, just people just being salty, calling me gimp, calling me this, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, wow, I really wish you guys would actually bring your opinions of me to the social contract in World of Warcraft and see how long you'd survive social contract hardcore before your account gets banned.
Mm. Yeah, well, it's a shame because I know that you were all about it last week. You were rocking your hunter, showing us in the post show, like all the cool stuff that you were doing and how active it was, and showing us all the last words with the hardcore mod. I guess that works with the new hardcore servers.
Yeah, Deathlog. I
Mhm.
mean, it's inescapable, but yeah, it's like, oh, well, you can't appeal these. I'm like, there's a lot of people that didn't appeal in the other servers. So, getting to rag with the Soul of Iron buff, I'm sorry for like dwelling on that. It's just kind of like, ugh.
No, that's all good.
Oh no, we live for this kind of stuff. Like this,
I didn't,
like I said, it's entertaining as hell.
I'm not
Because
gonna
you're
lie.
right. That's
And
what's great.
also
You're
on
right.
top of that, it's like I know like a lot of people that were joining the threads are just like there for attention, like whatever. my transmog's better than yours. I look better than you. You would
My
be much cooler if you sent nudes. Like, what the fuck?
That blew my mind. Like, what the
Whoa.
hell?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
what was that?
I rarely followed your threads, but that happened?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
person that was telling me that I'm salty and this and that they're, I'm just there to get like validated and they like to be humiliated and this and that and they're trying to say their transmog's better and I'd be cooler if I actually would send nudes. I'm just like,
Yeah.
That's fucked up. What is wrong with
Yep.
these people?
Well,
yeah,
there's not,
there's
there's
Lots of
not enough
things.
time in the day, Lumi. Not enough time in the day.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Like that was a loaded question to begin with. Oh no, I mean, so we've actually shifted from a generation of stereotypical males are your stereotypical gamers, and they are neckbeards, and they live in their mother's basement, and that's effectively what they do, and that's not the case. And I know that earlier this last year, or maybe it was a few years ago, they were talking about like girl gamers are like 59% of or like up to almost 50% of
Good.
the current gaming population. Great. Yes, we need more
I want to see
females.
more.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, like absolutely. Like I believe, like I've always been a firm believer that games is the glue that binds us all together as far as like teamwork is concerned, given the right format, depending on what game it is, right?
but if they have to understand. And they said something about transmog. We don't have transmog in classic, so I don't know what their point was with that. So it's like, I'm better than you. It's like, okay, so you send nudes to people in hopes that they actually carry you and hope that your gear is better by that. And like, transmog has nothing to equate to with skill.
Nope, it does not. It's the stickers on the race car.
Yep.
And honestly, I probably would have been more invested in like with this podcast, I'm not gonna lie, there's been plenty of times where I actually go to work and I look at raid night, Friday and Saturday, and I'm just like looking at it and they're like, Are you gonna raid tonight?" And I'm like, no, because I have a podcast and no, because I want to work. See, if I wanted to devote my life to actually, rolling my face on the keyboard as a holy paladin and Wrath of the Lich King, I could do that. I could do that no problem. I've been carrying raid groups like even into Old War. Like I'm top healer in my guild as it is. So
Yeah, that's
I'm not
awesome.
I'm not gonna say like people are asking me where I've been and this and that and just I was dealing with hurricanes and stuff like that. I growing, becoming older and becoming more responsible, I don't feel the need to devote most of my time in World of Warcraft. Like especially when my main guilds, like even I could get transmog. I could get a lot of transmog if I wanted to. My guild still in retail does a bunch of, you know, transmog runs and stuff like that. I see the notification. Do I go? No. Why? Because I go to the beat of my own drum. If I want to do something, I'll do it. I've done Wrath of the Lich King. I've grinded my reputation with Alterac Valley. I got my ram. I got my wolf. I did both sides. I grinded out Alterac Valley. I got a lot of achievements. I've got a lot of kills, Tanan Jungle with PvP and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've experienced a lot of stuff. And I don't think I will ever get back to my glory years because most of my friends in D7 no longer play. Jalen no longer plays WoW. There's a lot of people that aren't around anymore, and I cannot relive the same thrill that I got back in Emerald Dream, back in Warlord of Draenor.
Nope.
The initial experience that I actually was around for when I met Amy, keeping him out of trouble. I will never
That little,
I can
little
tank as a
subtle jab
warlock.
there.
I will
Little,
never get that again. I will never get that again. And I think that's more heartbreaking than anything else. Like I don't care about transmog. I don't care about mythic dungeons. I miss what I had, but I'm glad that what I still have.
It's always the camaraderie, right? I've gone
And it's not
back to games like my guilty pleasure has always been EverQuest, and that's what brought me back was the people I played with. I tried coming back and playing again, after all those people had left that platform, and it's just not the same. I totally get the idea of what you're saying. Like, you'll never get those memories back. I have lots and lots of fond memories and adventures on my server on that particular game. And even in WoW, when I came back in Wrath of the Lich King, there was like a whole guild that I was a part of, and I was their raid leader, and it was pretty good. Like, life was good.
You don't understand though. Like after our PvP excursions, we would go into the middle of Dalaran and we would trot around on mammoths late at night,
Yes.
listening to Eye of the Tiger.
Yes,
And
it's that
unfor-
camaraderie.
That's
and
amazing.
unfortunately, the guild leader passed away last year. Like it's gonna go on 1 year now, and I'm
Mm.
never gonna get that same experience back because he's gone.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
he can't be replaced. Do I care about gear? No. Do I care about the friends that I make? Yeah, but like I think it's just like you have there's a reason, like going back to the whole thing, there's a reason why there's hardcore servers. Give credit to where things are due and don't take away from them. And someone's like, well, we're not discrediting them, sweetie. I'm like, you kind of are.
Yeah. It would have been nice had Blizzard even just acknowledged the original hardcore community. Yes, it was on public servers, like on the Blizzard servers. Yes, you could appeal a DC, but you couldn't get the Soul of Iron again. Like once that buff was gone, it was gone. So it kind of, says something about your level of play if you're able to, play that game and maintain that Soul of Iron buff for, as long as you have that character. And it would have been really nice for them to sit there and say like, hey, this wouldn't be a thing or wouldn't be possible without the dedicated support of the people who played, the hardcore mode on, whatever servers people were playing it on. And that would have been cool. I think that would have done really well to, not so
Obsidian
much to extend it,
Edge.
just acknowledge where they came from, acknowledge the roots.
Obsidian Edge of Season of Mastery, where people had to take all their characters and transfer it to Wrath of the Lich King Classic official server. You know, I'm sorry. It's been like I had to mute that whole thread uh, because it was getting crazy. 10,000 impressions and people responding with whatever, just to randomly get an equipment. Like, yeah, whatever. Why did you take the time? Like, why?
Yes, they're bored.
Yeah.
It's what makes their life meaningful, and that's the hard part about it, right? It's the wrong type of energy that makes their life meaningful. And while you don't want to take that away from them, fuck those guys. Like,
Yeah,
just
it's like it makes LiveJournal look like it's, how they had back in the day, LiveJournal, we know drama. Like, no, you freaking act like your high school little twits. That's probably why they changed the name from Twitter, because there's a bunch of fucking twits on here.
Oh, speaking of, there was an article that came across this week that I thought was hilarious. Apparently, the muskrat showed up at a Valorant tournament and he was booed off stage.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh my God. So he was so upset. He looked angry and I could not help but laugh. He legit got booed. People then started chanting, "Bring back Twitter." And he just looked even more and more upset. And it's one of those things of like, you might be the richest person on the planet, but people fucking hate you. And the fact that you can't see that or recognize that you are not as popular as you think you are and people legitimately hate you, you're just so full of yourself. You should just like, I don't know, choke on a bag of pretzels.
So you're literally turning freaking Twitter into what happened to MySpace, but
Yeah.
you're doing it by pouring the gasoline on yourself.
Didn't
And
Justin
you're
Timberlake buy MySpace? I remember that was the last news I heard about it, and then it just
Wait,
blooped
what?
off. Yeah, Justin Timberlake bought MySpace or bought into MySpace, one of the two, to turn it into the next music platform.
They were
Holy
trying to
shit,
revamp it.
MySpace still exists?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
might. Now I gotta look. I don't know. This was like
I
almost.
just opened it up. Holy shit.
Maybe it'll make a comeback.
Somebody add me on MySpace, please.
I had the best MySpace page. You have no idea. Yeah, no, it's like music oriented now, but yeah.
I know mine was just glitter,
A
emo, and
part
Linkin
of
Park. That's
people
all mine
slash
was.
entertainment. What? People slash entertainment weekly network own MySpace.
I me as shooketh.
I am closing that tab.
Yep, it is gone. I probably got put on some FBI list for that one. Okay. Well, Crit, I love hearing about your adventures in WoW, and we got barcodes, Baldur's Gate, Barcode Gate 3. There we go. We'll just call
Yes.
But Cajun and I have had our own adventures this week. We'll go ahead and start with
Yes, do
Cajun
tell.
and what type of Pokemaniac type things he's been doing, and then we'll go into our collab stuff.
Oh yeah, I've been taking. I can't even call it a trip down memory lane simply because of the time frame that the games were in my life. I really couldn't get deeply involved into them. It's generations 5 through 7, which array from Pokemon X and Y, Black and White 2, Emerald. Fire Red, Leaf Green. That was the remakes of one, and then of course the Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon remakes. I played a little bit of them. Never even got to play Black and White and Black and White 2 because I just did not own a DS at the time and I just couldn't because newlyweds and money's tight and all that fun stuff. But I did have a few things purchased, and the other day I was going through some boxes and I found my old game of Omega Ruby. I found my old game of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and Normal Moon, and I sat there. I was like, "What kind of Pokemon do I have on these damn things?" And I started going through it. The games that I actually owned that were always mine. I don't know what I was doing as a Pokemon trainer. I didn't have Jack Diddley or shit, and it was a sad thing to see that I did not know what I was doing back in the day. Um, So I started researching, as one does, what kind of shiny hunting I could do in those games because I still have my DS that I had eventually got, and I knocked the dust off of it, and I was like, all right, let's take a look see. Apparently, that was the generation that shiny hunting actually really took off. That's when people were really getting into the grind of actually doing shiny hunting. It started with Pokemon X and Y, I believe, and then just hit the gates hard running with Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, and then into Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun. The odds of some of the hunts were ridiculous. And if y'all have seen it on Twitter, I was flabbergasted. I hate to use that word because it's such a down south word, but I was
No, that's an old people word.
that too. But
Welcome to the old people club.
yeah, I guess so. But I was just shook at how insane some of the odds were for some of these Pokemon that you could hunt at that time. The one of the ones that I was doing was the fishing method, which on average, the moment you hit 20 in a row, it's like 1 in 100 odds for any Pokemon you to snatch to become shiny, which I didn't see until Sword and Shield for the Guzzlord hunts, as me and Lumi remember fondly. Um, and I was posting like 11 casts. I caught a shiny Corfish. I changed
Nice.
to a different area. 15 casts, shiny Magikarp. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I'm hunting a dinosaur in Sword and Shield with 700 eggs, and I can't get it, but I can throw a piece of string into a water 11 times and get a shiny. Hell did I miss growing up in these damn generations? So I keep going, and I'm testing out every single method in all these games, and I've been able to catch some of my bucket list shiny Pokemon in Omega Ruby via their Dex Nav thing, where it's basically you hit the button, it forces the Pokemon to appear, you run it, you sneak up on it, you scare it, you fight it, you kill it, wash, rinse, repeat. And on average, about 200 in a row, and I get my shiny that I'm looking for. I got a shiny Phantump on my first official run, which I was gonna hunt in Sword and Shield, but now my ass ain't got to no more because I got one. And the second one was Joltik, which is my absolute favorite bug Pokemon of all time because it's a 1 pound, half an inch little turd that you can like stick on your head and he just walks around with it. It's adorable. I wanted it and I got it. And then I moved on to the other ones. I'm still theory crafting Ultra Moon's SOS method people have had huge success with it. I haven't got it yet. I don't know what the deal is. I'm doing it wrong. I'll eventually figure it out. And I want to do their wormhole methods, which has every legendary and up to that date and every beast from that date that you can catch shiny in there. So it's like when I'm not streaming the main port games, I have those. But what's really got me excited is the fact that I forgot that the missus I got the missus a DS for Christmas one year, and her friend gave Harrison a 3DS not too long ago, and they've been collecting dust. And we just passed up Fossil Week. It's a big community event in the shiny hunting world where people either hunt fossil-based Pokemon in certain games, or they sit there and they revive fossils until they get a shiny. And the other big event they have is Safari Zone, which is probably the scariest thing for a freaking shiny hunter, is trying to hunt things in a safari zone where the shiny has a huge probability of running away just because. And I don't know if it's masochism or if it's just the thrill of the hunt, but now that I have these DSs in my possession and these old games, I am hoping to participate in Safari and Fossil next year with all these devices and all these old games and see if I can throw my hat in the ring content creation wise and see if what I can do to have fun with the rest of the shiny community, because the shiny community is absolutely phenomenal on YouTube. If you ever just type in shiny hunting and you just see the people and the elation they get when that shiny pops up on screen, puts mind to shame. It's a beautiful thing, and everybody supports each other, and everybody it's like, hey, you need a foreign this or that for your Masuda method. Yeah, I got you. I'll hook you up. Like it's gorgeous. Um, but the thing that's really got me excited is my local retro shop has half of the games that I've been missing in its display case. And if I can manage to get enough pennies scavenged together, I can have all the games that I missed growing up. I say growing up when I had first gotten married. That's Black and White 2, Ultra Sun, and the X, Pokemon X that I done missed place. I don't know where the hell that thing is. So nostalgia has been heavy on the Nord's heart this week, as it were, right on the cusp of a new DLC for the mainstream game coming out in 2 weeks on my birthday week. So it's gonna be all Pokemon all the time for me from the very near future, which segue into what me and Lumi have been doing, a bucket list event that we've been doing on Wednesday nights, a two-player Nuzlocke called a Soul Lock. Before I let Lumi explain his feelings about it, how he's experienced it so far, I'll just give you a quick synopsis of how the gameplay works. We both play a randomized copy of the same game, and right now we're doing Fire Red, and whatever Pokemon, it's the same Nuzlocke rule applies. You have one encounter per route, and if you catch it, you keep it. If you kill it, you don't get a Pokemon for that run. And whatever Pokemon I catch is linked up to Lumi's. So if I accidentally get my Pokemon killed in a battle, that means Lumi's Pokemon dies immediately as well.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's like
it gets
duo.
boxed. Oh yeah.
It's like duo and hardcore. Like if you,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And it's, like I said, I'm letting Lumi explain the details because I want to hear it from his point of view. But as a bucket list Nuzlocke, because I've done plenty of Nuzlocks both on YouTube and on Twitch, and I've had a lot of fun with them. But doing it like this with somebody else and having that constant fear that I don't want to fuck this up because I might kill their Pokemon. Which, if you didn't watch what happened Wednesday, spoiler alert, Lumi,
Oh,
Lumi,
poor
yeah,
dogfish.
oh dude, Lumi has been such a great protector of his Pokemon, and I think my I hate to say my experience has made me cocky. I already have ruined one run and have already lost one of our Pokemon in the current run. So, but Lumi has been fantastic, and I'm gonna let him explain his point of view of the adventures we've been having.
Yeah, whenever the stakes are, if it faints, it's done. You have to release it. Like I know this like you have to treat it as if it died or something like that, but it's more along the lines of anything more than once is abuse. I guess is kind of how I'm looking at it. So, but I mean, beyond that, it's been a lot of fun. I feel really dumb doing it because I'm not a Poké Nut. So I don't know all the Pokemon by heart because I've been pretty much treating Cajun like the Alexa of the Pokemon world. Hey, Cajun, what's the weakness of this monster? That is Pikachu. Its weakness is blah, 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 blah. Like, that's
he's been using my ass as a living Pokedex, and I'm all about it.
pretty much. And that's fine. Like, we were using a program called PokeLink, which actually has a built-in resistance chart in it, but it breaks kind of the immersion. Luckily, I'm playing it without sound, and there's nothing but music, so it doesn't do too much other than like the screen freezes for a little bit, and Cajun and I bullshit for a second. But it's been a lot of fun, and Cajun's been really helpful. I feel that I'm behind because I'm not familiar, but I have a feeling by the end of this experience, I'm going to be so much further ahead as far as like my knowledge on Pokemon and whatnot. Which, by the way, I had a 10-pack break by Sinvicta, and I ended up getting some really nice cards out of that. I linked that in the Discord server.
Dude, like I would like people would like slap somebody across the face with the luck that Lumi got with some of them pulls. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, like I just
Ridiculous.
received it today and showed the kids, and they had like semi-permanent pog face. So it was a good pull. So I've got to sit with my last year's Sinvicta box break edition. Edition. But yeah, no, like it's been a lot of fun. I'm thrilled with it. We have this PokeLink program which keeps track of all of our Pokemon and who's died where for how many cookies, and it's been an overall good experience. You should totally load up both of our streams and watch us play on Wednesday nights. If anything, to learn a lot about Pokemon from Cajun, and other than that, just chill, just sit back, enjoy, and make fun of us and talk to us and say hello.
Well, if it's after 9 o'clock, I could probably do that because Wednesdays I kind of work until.
Yeah, that's like 8 o'clock my
Oh, yeah.
time. So yeah, no, like we're live. I know Cajun gets on about 8:30 Central, so that's 9:30 your time, Crit.
I get on and I'll either hunt Pokemon and shinies and other games when I'm waiting for Lumi, or if Lumi gets on early enough, we'll just start around
Yeah,
9 our time, so 10 yours.
yeah. And if you don't want to talk, you can be in chat, or you can just pop into the broadcast channel and like bullshit with us along the way.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Baldur's Gate is multiplayer too, right? Or has capabilities of multiplayer, right?
It is, yeah.
Does it?
I think they
Yes.
actually
Yes.
expanded that in its latest patch. Like you can have some ridiculous amount of things
So
going on.
there's a mod that gives you up to 16 players. 8 players in single player mode, or is it? It's 8 and 16. So I think it's 16 in regular game like single player, and then 8 in multiplayer. I'm gonna look up.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I bet you that gets chaotic. I wonder how that's managed, but that's just the programmer in me understanding like, oh, how does that work? So,
Recruit any NPC. Remove multiplayer characters. No party limit. That's the name of the mod. This will give your avatar and your origin characters a spell. This spell add the targeted character to your party. If you cast it on a character already in your party, it will remove them, even multiplayer characters. If you want to be able to recruit the character again, you can remove them from your camp. They'll be teleported automatically, even when changing acts. At least for multiplayer characters, some random NPCs won't like it. There's no party limit if you recruit with the spell, but there will be if you try recruiting the legit way. My God, can you? So I have one gripe in this world, one of many. When you're writing something, use proper fucking grammar and spelling. If English isn't your first language, I don't care. I understand. English is terrible. But if English is your first language, there, not, this is the locational there. It should be THERE, not THEIR. That's possessive, like it belongs to, it's their toy. It's possessive, it belongs to the, anyway.
The rage is building.
well,
Warning, it could break the game. I like that.
These characters are in their characters are in their camp.
Yes.
We're starting to burn over into the end of the podcast. Let me go ahead and wrap this up real quick.
We haven't even talked about Starfield yet. Goddamn.
Well, it's not even Starfield. A Sea of Stars is where I want to go first. That was my Tuesday game. Oh my
This will be a
goodness.
longer episode than usual. Go
You
for
know, yeah, it's our podcast. We do the fuck we want. It'll be 3
That's
hours
right.
long. Fuck you guys. You have to watch 3 hours. Well, not really, but so Sea of Stars is actually really good. It hits all the right nerd nostalgia, and apparently it's been a sleeper release with all my friends. And I could have sworn I remembered linking. I was like, "Hey, you should wishlist this Steam game. It has all the nerd you remember." And they're like, and it finally came out. And it is literally all the nerd that I remember. While Cajun was running around on his shiny bike with his shiny charm, with his shiny eggs, making shiny Pokemon, but not really. Oh gosh, so we just 370 eggs or something like that is what you had.
700 in total with no shiny.
700 eggs riding around on his bicycle. So, and we're sitting there, we're playing it, and then of course it's also your classic SNES RPG experience. There's no voice acting, so I had to read everything, and I absolutely love that. Oh yeah, and we made fun of it along the way, and it was a lot of fun. But they have the combo moves. They've got quick time events, well, not quick time events, but it's the precursor to quick time events. If you've ever played Super Mario RPG, some of the actions that you can do if you hit your A button or Y button or whatever button it is, right when they attack, you could do an extra attack and you can chain more attacks on top of that. That's the kind of gameplay you have to look forward to. One of the moves in there was bouncing a moon boomerang between you and the target.
Oh, that was so cool.
Oh yeah, like it was getting up there too. It was like bing, 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 bing. It was a huge blur. I don't know how I was keeping up with it. I think I don't know.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, there were some other new mechanics in there that was really good. Like in order to interrupt a NPC or put them a turn behind, you could correspond your attacks with whatever attacks it takes to push the turn back for them if they're doing a multi-turn like spell or ability. It was a lot. The sound design is fantastic. I love the character design. There's also some movie events in there. When we met two of the main characters, I'm trying not to give a lot of spoilers, but as far as gameplay is concerned, I got chills up my spine of everything that I was experiencing, and all Nordic Cajun could hear is me gushing about how great this game is as he was riding around on his bicycle hatching tyrants.
Like
Right.
between that and how you were acting in actual Starfield, like I've never seen a person so happy to play games. It made me happy just in context.
I
It
am
was amazing.
I am one for a good epic adventure, and so far Starfield has been that slow burn build up epic adventure that I have been wanting. Space exploration, RPG elements, it has been amazing. It's all voice acted, so really it's just me talking about some of the things that they're saying and some of the gripes. And of course, some of your classic Bethesda mechanic shows up, like loading into the main world and the game crashes, or
hmm Two
um,
NPCs are having dialogue, game crashes.
oh, and Cajun scared the crap out of me last night because I wanted to play some Starfield. I mean, it was a really great game. Wanted to see what I could do, and I was walking through New Atlantis, and I could have sworn I heard, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, that NPC sounded just like Cajun, right? And you could see me stop and stream. I was like, what the hell was that? Is that Cajun? What the hell? And I look over at the Discord that I had up over on the other screen. I was like, "There's Cajun." I was like, "Oh, dude!" Like I was literally gonna go find this character and start up a dialogue with him. Like, "Dude, this sounds just like you." Scared
No,
the
it
crap
was
out of me.
just me. My voice is low enough to be at NPC level. I even said something after that. I was like, "I hope you're doing well," and it just
Yes.
sounded like two NPCs were talking to each other. You're like, "What the shit?"
Yeah, pretty much. So there's some other things I discovered about this game aside from the gunplay. It's your classic Fallout experience without the VATS. Um, there was also some other things that I found out. I was messing around with outposts today, and apparently you can create supply chains and manufacturing and things like that, along with uh, building launch pads that you can use to send resources within system and interstellarly to other resources areas. So you could set up an entire chain of resources throughout the entire known human civilization across whatever galaxies that we currently occupy. So that was really cool. I'm looking forward to dip into that. Base building is like you would see in Fallout 4. I'm having a blast with it. I really am. In fact, like as soon as this podcast is done tonight, I'm gonna load it up. I'm gonna play some more. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on stream or if I want to do it recreationally. Not sure yet. So yeah, that's it. So if you tune in and I'm playing Starfield, be ready for spoilers. I've tried to keep this podcast portion spoiler free because it does go up on YouTube, and I can tell you right now, the two games that I'm really happy with as far as purchase is concerned, Sea of Stars, Starfield, and next on my list will be Baldur's Gate 3 for sure, but that's going to be further down the lane. I've heard people spending 100+ hours on Act 1, which scares me.
I want it
Yikes.
so bad. I want to roll dice and romance big, giant, fiery demon mommies. What? Hello?
Huh. Uh-huh.
Oh my.
Bring
I
me
see.
those chunkas. Yeah. No.
Like, I'm sorry, when you're scrolling through TikTok and all of a sudden you just see this fiery demon woman show up, and the first thing she says is, "I want to ride you till you see stars." You start feeling kind of a certain way. I'm
Yeah.
just
Oh
like,
my.
okay, so okay.
Wow, it's podcast title appropriate. That was awesome.
hmm
Good job,
hmm
Cajun.
That's what I used to pay me the big bucks for, them little segues.
So, needless to say, this episode has been pretty much one large round table of all the cool shit we've been doing. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Big fun. Love it.
absolutely. This week, it's pretty much going to be Cajun. I'm probably going to be doing. I want to play more Sea of Stars, so I'll probably stick with that pattern. Sea of Stars on Tuesday, Starfield on Thursday, and Soul Link Nuzlocke on Wednesday with the Nordic Cajuns. So, do feel free to tune in to both of our channels and watch the shenanigans as we go
Episode
along.
4, the red-headed demon of Cerulean City.
Yep, that's right. We gotta level up just high enough so that way we can beat whatever legendary she's gonna throw at us. If it's a
I'm
legendary,
serious.
I'm hoping it's.
Knowing my luck, you're gonna get like a Pidgey and a Hoppip, and I'm gonna get the legendaries that blow up. That's gonna be my luck. I
Why
can
does
see it
she?
right now.
Why does she have 3 intes? Yeah, that's
You're a
what I get.
water trainer, bitch. Why you got 3 fire dogs? Help!
We'll check in with Amy and Crit and their adventures in Baldur's Gate 3 and World of Warcraft as we go along. Oh, there was another game that I sparked Amy's interest in. Apparently, Dead by Daylight is now doing xenomorphs, and
Yes.
Oh, it's true. I heard about that.
I'm gonna check out some Let's Plays on it, see what it looks like, and see if it's something I'm interested in. But generally speaking, if it involves a xenomorph, I am interested.
indeed, and this
They
is on.
just want to give hug.
Mhm.
And this is on top of the new Factorio update that's going to be coming out within the next year and the engine updates.
Space.
Oh, it's going to be great, and I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about it once that happens. But until then, episode 44, I believe, is done. Anybody have anything else to add to this before we shut the valve off and start the post show?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, what's
Nope.
that?
Yeah, I have something.
What you got?
Don't be a dick.
Yay!
That is the Nordic theme, Nordic country motto right there.
Yeah.
Can't see it, but I'm saluting with both fingers. All right, so. With that, chat, we're going to end the podcast. Thanks for showing up. And those of you on YouTube, tune in next week for another episode of the UDP broadcast. Episode 45, title to be determined.
It'll be nothing but fun.
It will be nothing
Yeah.
but Baldur gatekeeping.
Baldur's Gatekeeping.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the gatekeeping in this. I'm waiting for people to start being like, well, you're not playing the game the same way I play, therefore you're not as cool as me.
I'm
That's
already
gonna
the
be
best
majestic.
gatekeeper ever. I am the best. I am like alpha gatekeeper.
Alpha Gatekeeper Crit. So long, chat.
Bye.
Later.